Good morning, students of class 10. Welcome back to the e-classes now. Let us continue our lesson in history, and we are doing nationalism in India. So let's begin now. In our previous class, we have learned that nationalism was started in Europe and it had an effect all over the world. Slowly it spread all over Europe and then around the world. And this type of idea also came in India. In India, nationalism started because of the oppressive nature of the colonizers, especially the Britishers who ruled in India. Due to their oppressive nature and the hardships people faced during colonial rule, this has led to the spread of nationalism in India. We'll talk about that we have already learned. Now we'll talk about some other points. 1.0, there are altogether 6 points I have written over here. And in our next class we'll talk about the idea of Satyagraha, that is 1.1. Each subtitle has got a number. You go through the number and you can understand and go through the book also at home. The First World War, Khilafat and Non-Cooperation Movement. This is the title of this 1.0. And we have talked a lot of things about in our previous class. Now here, number 1, during 1919, just after the World War ended, that ended in 1918, First World War, during 1919, national movement spread in India. As just now I have talked about, that due to oppressive nature of the Britishers, nationalism spread in India. During 1919, national movement spread to new areas, uniting new social groups, various social groups, tribals, business class, farmers, traders, these are all different social groups, and developing new modes of struggle. Modes means ways, methods. Started developing new methods and new modes of struggle to fight against the Europeans or the oppressors. Now here, during 1919, there was a social unrest. Do you know why? Because during the World War, during the First World War, the Britishers had requested Indian leaders to supply soldiers on one condition, that as soon as the World War ends, we will provide you freedom. But as the World War ended, and there was no question of freedom, so this has made an unrest, and people were not satisfied. They were very angry in a sense, and they have started the revolution. Now here, the war created a new economic during war and after the war, at both the times. The war created a new economic and political situation in India. There was an economic and political situation. So the tax was increased. The government, the British government, increased the tax to finance war loans. They have taken up a lot of loans from America and other countries during war to finance their war materials. So to tax, the tax was increased on Indian peasants, on Indian people, societies. The tax was increased by the Britishers to finance war loans. Custom duties were raised and income tax introduced by the British. So a lot of taxes on various fields. So they have increased the taxes. Income tax was introduced just to finance their war loans, which they have taken up from America. So now this led to extreme hardships. Extreme means too much. This has led to extreme hardships for common people, especially the peasants, the poor peasants. They find it very difficult to pay the tax. Sometimes their crop failed, the poor farmers, and they find it very difficult. How would they pay the tax? Sometimes they have to sell their property, their ornaments, or even the land. So in this way, this has led to extreme hardships for the common people. Villages were called, during the war also, the villages were called upon to supply soldiers, as I have already told you. During the war time, the villagers were called to supply soldiers at that time, on the condition that after the war ends, the British will provide independence. So, during the war, the villagers were called upon to supply soldiers and force recruitment. Recruitment means to appoint. Force recruitment in rural areas. The people were, or the young men or young boys who are very strong and healthy, they were forced to join the army, British troops. So, forced recruitment in rural areas caused widespread anger among the society or the people. Even the young men were not willing to go to war, but the Britishers forced them to join the troops or the army. So in this way, forced recruitment has caused widespread anger among the villagers. Then from 1918 to 1921, almost 4 years, crops failed in India. In many parts of India, the crops failed. So once the crop fails, there was a shortage of food. Moreover, they had to pay the tax every year, and it was very, very difficult for the people. At this time, they had to sell their jewelries, they had to sell their golds, which they have collected or which they have kept from ancient periods and times. So, in our class 9, we have already learned about that. How did India finance or help during the depression years? We have already learned about that. The gold from our country, it came out from the villages. From 1918 to 21, crops failed in many parts of India, resulting in, what was the result? In acute shortages of food. Acute means serious. Shortage of food in the market. So followed by influenza epidemic. Influenza, cough and cold, and epidemic. It was an epidemic. Widespread influenza. There was a shortage of food, and people were unhealthy because they did not have enough food, and they were slowly getting unhealthy and weak. And at that time, influenza epidemic spread. So both the famine or shortage of food as well as influenza. Almost 12 to 13 million people perished. Perished means killed or died. That means almost 12 to 13 million perished as a result of famine and disease. Because of this famine, you know that shortage of food, because the crop failed, not repeatedly, from 1918, 19, 20, 21. 4 years continuously there was a crop failure. So naturally there was a famine, shortage of food and disease. This has resulted to 12 to 13 million people. They have lost their lives. Now number 5, people hoped. As I have told you that the Britishers have promised that as soon as the war ends, we will give you freedom. So people hoped that their hardships would end after the war. People hope. That's why the Indian leaders supplied soldiers, young boys. They were recruited because the leaders have persuaded them. But people hoped at the time that their hardships would end after the war was over. When the war will be over, our hardships will be over. But that did not happen. That did not happen. Once the war ended, the Britishers kept quiet. They even did not mention about freedom. The Indian leaders persisted, requesting them about their reminding them of the freedom or the promise they have made. But that did not happen. This made the Indian society or the people very, very angry, and they had to do something. At this point, at this stage, a new leader, that was Mahatma Gandhi, at this stage a new leader appeared. Who was that new leader? Mahatma Gandhi. A new leader appeared and suggested he suggested, that leader suggested a new mode of struggle, new method of struggle. We will not get or will not achieve independence in this way. We need to do something. We need to struggle. We need to start a movement. So you know who is that leader. So a new leader appeared and suggested a new mode of struggle. That was Satyagraha, the idea of Satyagraha. We have already learned about Satyagraha. Gandhiji practiced Satyagraha in South Africa, and he also introduced Satyagraha in India, first in Champaran, then in Kedia, and that is in Ahmedabad. So we have learned already about that. The idea of Satyagraha. So the Gandhiji introduced the idea of Satyagraha from Champaran in Bihar. So here that will be 1.1. In our next class we'll do that. So this much for today. You go through the online portal properly. Those who are not here, those who are not present, you go through the online portal. I'll provide you questions also through videos, and you start answering those things. So yesterday also I provided you some questions, and you keep yourself busy at home. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class and continue our lesson. Thank you very much for your watching as well as your attention. So that's all for today. We'll meet in the next class.